I'd like to take you on a tour of the Weir River Woods. We're standing on the Chatham Street property, and this now provides an entrance into the Weir River Woods. It was purchased by the Hull Land Conservation Trust to hold it until the town is able to purchase it at no cost to the town. Tucker Odleifson, who's an Eagle Scout candidate, figured out really you could park 4 cars pointing over to the side so that each could get back out again. And so he's going to put a little screening of bushes right along the edge of the street. I knew from having worked with the Weir River Estuary Park Committee that this was a very important piece of land in terms of the habitat and also an opportunity to create an entrance into the Weir River Woods. So come on, let's take a walk. At the right-hand back corner, there's this path that the Hull Land Conservation Trust opened into the Weir River Woods. We're here in April. You can hear the birds in the background. It's a good time to be able to see things because the leaves they're just coming out. This is the one and only cave I know of in Hull. It's kind of fun. It's maybe big enough for a fox to live in. We're at the edge of the vernal pool. Vernal means springtime. You can see a whole bed of wild lilies of the valley here. Every season has its own special plants and birds to look at. These will have little tiny stalks with little white flowers on them in a week or two. In the fall they'll have little red berries on them. One of the things that's special about the Weir River Woods and the salt marshes around them is that they have 5 distinct biosystems. One of them being the vernal pools. This bridge was built in 1976 as part of a bicentennial grant that the town received, and one of the groups helping with it was the HEAL, the Hull Environmental Action League, which is a group of high school students led by Bob Corcoran, and it's still here. The area that we're approaching right now is a north-facing rock wall. It creates a very moist area, and it has sphagnum moss, and it has a lot of ferns. These are fiddleheads of ferns that once they uncoil will be about this high. This is the north-facing rock wall, and in this area it's maybe 12-15 feet wide, the little echo system here. It's very, very important for people to walk single file through here because the plants, just aren't that many plants, so you want to be very careful, and you can start by going foot after foot over this little bridge. This plant is sarsaparilla, and this will be the leaves. They'll have 3 branches on them, and this will be a flower, an umbel, that will be sort of the shape of fireworks, you know, a flower going out in all different directions. It's where the drink sarsaparilla comes from, and it's also called American ginseng. This north-facing wall is covered with lichen and with Christmas fern and moss. The lichen that looks like leaves is called rock tripe, and it's a survival food. Here's a piece that kind of broke off and in among the leaves here. You could boil this. It tastes kind of like mushrooms, and you could actually eat that to get by if you were really hungry. Now we're going to head up this rock wall, and we're going on steps that were built as part of that bicentennial project. There are several benches here. They probably were built in the Hull High shop, and most of them have survived very well. We're now up at the top above the rock ledge. This is a totally different biosphere. This is dry uplands. It's known as coastal forest. There are a lot of oaks, sassafras, red cedar. This upland path leads to an overview of the estuary, and the Eagle Scout who's working on the entrance is also going to create a short path so that when you're up here you can get to the edge of the rocks and look out. This is low bush blueberry, about to bloom. want to just point out that the Weir River Woods is the only conservation woods area in Hull, and the 18 acres that can, including the woods and the salt marsh, are the only place where you can walk in the woods and walk out on the marsh. Ooh, that was nice. We're back on the main trail in just minutes from the salt marsh. The path here runs right along the edge of the estuary. There's a blueberry thicket hummock out there. You can look back towards George Washington Boulevard and across the estuary, across the river. You can see World's End. World's End is owned by the trustees of reservations. There are types of ecosystems here that don't exist over there. This blueberry thicket, the north-facing rock wall, the vernal pool are unique. They're here in the woods. We are so privileged to have this piece of the estuary environment here in Hull. It is very productive in terms of fish and in terms of birds. There are 100 different species of birds that either migrate through or nest here. Estuarine systems worldwide are very endangered. There are 12 major estuarine systems, one of them being the Massachusetts Bay estuaries, and we're fortunate that gradually the Mass Bay estuary system is recovering. We'd like to be part of that process. Thank you so much for coming on this hike through the Weir River Woods. The way the land trust works is that it helps the town purchase land. The town can go after matching funds, so any donations you make will be doubled.